We're diving into the history of the 1979 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might just be hiding in your collection and worth thousands of dollars. Stick around to find out why this penny is more than just a piece of history. Let's get started. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny is part of the well-known series that has featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse ever since 1909. But what makes the 1979 penny stand out among the rest? Let's take a look at its history. The coin was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark. 1979 was a year of transition for U.S. coins. After the 1974 coin shortages, the mint produced an abundance of pennies, with over 4.7 billion of them in circulation that year. But even though so many were made, not all of them are as common as you might think. In fact, some versions of the 1979 D penny have become highly sought after due to certain unique features. Let's talk about the physical features of the 1979 D penny. The obverse of the penny features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features the Union Shield, symbolizing America's strength and unity. Now, let's get into the juicy part, the variety that can make these pennies worth thousands. While most 1979 D pennies are relatively low in value, a specific type, known as the 1979 D wide AM variety, is where things get interesting. Here's where things get exciting for collectors. In 1979, there was a die error at the Denver Mint, which caused a small number of pennies to have a wider spacing between the and M in America on the reverse. This error is known as the wide AM variety, and it's incredibly rare. The normal 1979 D penny has a much narrower and M in America, so the wide AM version stands out as a true error coin. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these varieties because they're hard to find in decent condition. Some of these error pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Okay, so how can you spot this valuable penny? It's all in the spacing. Look closely at the reverse of the coin. In the wide AM variety, there's a noticeable gap between the A and M in America. Compare it to a regular 1979 D penny, where the A and M are much closer together. This subtle difference is key to identifying the rare version. If you happen to find one of these, you might just have a small treasure in your hands. Now let's talk value. While most 1979 D pennies are worth only 1 cent, a 1979 D wide AM penny in good condition can fetch thousands at auction. A typical wide AM penny can be worth anywhere from $500 to $3,000, depending on its condition and the auction. The value can jump even higher if the coin is in mint or near mint condition. In some rare cases, these coins have sold for more than $5,000. So, whether you're just starting your coin collection or have been collecting for years, keep an eye out for that 1979 D wide AM penny. It could be hiding right under your nose, and you never know, it could turn into a valuable find. But remember, condition matters, so always check for wear and tear when determining the value of your coin. We're diving into a penny that's been capturing the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 1996 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might think it's just another penny, but trust me, this coin has some serious value, and we're talking thousands of dollars. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's take a closer look. The 1996 D Lincoln penny, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, may seem like a regular coin you'd find in your pocket. After all, millions were minted that year at the Denver Mint. So what makes it so special? To answer that, let's take a quick trip back in time. The 1996 D penny was part of a series of coins made during a period when the U.S. Mint was cranking out billions of pennies each year. The D Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest mints in the country. However, while most 1996 pennies are still circulating, a few rare versions have become some of the most sought-after pennies on the market. Now, you're probably wondering, what's so special about this 1996 D penny? Well, here's where things get interesting. There are certain errors and minting characteristics that make a few 1996 D pennies incredibly valuable. For example, one of the most notable varieties is the 1996 D double die obverse penny. What's a double die error? It happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and details, especially on the word Liberty and the date. This error is rare, and finding a clean, well-preserved example could result in a substantial payday. If you've got one of these in your collection, you're in luck. A 1996 D double die penny in good condition can be worth thousands of dollars, with some specimens fetching anywhere between $5,000 to over $15,000, depending on the quality and rarity of the error. That's not pocket change. But it doesn't end there. The grade of the coin is just as important as the error itself. A well-preserved, high-grade 1996 D penny could be worth significantly more than one that's worn or damaged. Coins are graded based on their condition, from poor, P1, to mint state, MS-70, with higher grades fetching the highest prices. If you've come across a 1996 D penny in great condition, or if you suspect it might be a double die error, it's time to get it appraised by a professional coin grader. Getting your coin certified could potentially increase its value even further. Now, you might be asking, where can you sell your valuable 1996 D penny? Well, online auctions and coin dealers are great places to start. You can often find buyers willing to pay top dollar for rare coins, especially if they're certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. So, to sum it all up, while most 1996 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, there's a small percentage out there with a rare double die error that could be worth thousands of dollars. If you think you've got one, it's time to inspect it closely, get it graded, and start thinking about all the ways you can cash in on this incredible find. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the rare and valuable 1996 D Lincoln penny. If you've ever found one of these in your pocket, or you have a similar coin that could be worth a fortune, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin collecting tips and rare finds. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1973 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that might just be hiding some incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newbie just getting into the hobby, this coin could be worth thousands of dollars. Stick around, and I'll tell you exactly why. The 1973 D Lincoln 1 cent is part of the famous Lincoln series, which has been in circulation since 1909. But did you know that the 1973 D penny is one of those unique coins that has caught the attention of collectors for its rarity and potential value? Let's take a closer look at the history and what makes this coin so special. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced over 4 billion pennies, including the 1973 D, with a D mint mark indicating that it was struck in Denver. At first glance, the 1973 D penny might seem like just another piece of pocket change. But certain factors make it more valuable than you might think. So, what makes the 1973 D penny so valuable? It all comes down to two key factors: the condition of the coin and some very rare error varieties. Like all coins, the condition of the 1973 D penny plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. If you happen to find a 1973 D penny in mint state, say a grade of MS-65 or higher, it could be worth much more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the big value boost: rare error varieties. One of the most exciting discoveries among 1973 D pennies is the presence of certain die errors, which can significantly increase a penny's value. Some 1973 D pennies were struck with a double die error, meaning the image on the coin appears to be doubled in certain areas, especially on Lincoln's profile or the lettering. These errors are highly sought after by collectors because they're much rarer than a typical 1973 D penny. Other rare errors include off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned when struck, creating a misaligned design. These can fetch significant amounts, especially in higher grades. So, how much could a 1973 D penny be worth? Well, in average circulated condition, a 1973 D penny is only worth about 1 cent. But in mint state, these pennies can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on the condition and rarity of the coin. But the real jackpot? If you find a rare double die or off-center error 1973 D penny, You could be looking at anywhere from $500 to thousands of dollars. Imagine stumbling upon one of these in your pocket change. A coin you thought was just another penny, but it's actually worth thousands. If you're serious about collecting, keep an eye out for these rare error coins to help you identify valuable 1973 D pennies. Make sure to use a magnifier or a coin microscope. Also, check online coin marketplaces, auction sites, and grading services to see how much specific error varieties are selling for. Remember, coin collecting is about more than just monetary value. It's a fascinating hobby that connects us to history, and who knows, you might find a piece of history worth more than you ever expected. So, if you've learned something new about the 1973 D Lincoln penny and the world of rare coin collecting, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on future coin discoveries. We're diving into a fascinating and often overlooked piece of U.S. coinage, the 1971 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little copper coin might look simple at first glance, but did you know it could be worth thousands of dollars? That's right, the 1971 penny, which lacks a mint mark, is not only rare but has a rich history. Let's take a closer look at what makes it so special and how it can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. Let's start with a bit of history. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, most of them with a clear mint mark indicating where they were struck. However, a small number of 1971 pennies were produced without the mint mark, a rarity that's caught the attention of collectors for decades. Typically, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint feature no mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco carry a D or S. But in 1971, something unusual happened in Philadelphia. A batch of pennies was released into circulation without any mint mark, making them a mystery and a potential gold mine for collectors. So why is the 1971 no mint mark penny worth so much today? Let's break it down. While most 1971 pennies were minted in large quantities, the ones without a mint mark are much rarer. But what truly sets them apart is their condition. The ones that have remained in excellent shape, especially those graded by the experts, are in high demand. Uncirculated 1971 no mint mark pennies are considered some of the most sought-after coins in the hobby. A pristine coin, free from scratches and wear, can command a hefty price. In fact, if you've got a 1971 penny in mint condition, it could be worth anywhere from $500 to $5,000, depending on its grade. Now, let's talk about coin grading. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Pennies graded as MS-65 or higher, which is considered near perfect, can sell for thousands at auction. However, not every 1971 no mint mark penny is worth that much. But if you've got one in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Just last year, an MS-67 graded 1971 no mint mark penny sold for over $4,000 at a major coin auction. That's a huge return for a coin that was minted over 50 years ago. To get the most accurate value for your 1971 no mint mark penny, you'll want to have it professionally graded. This ensures you know exactly how much your penny is worth and can help when selling it to a dealer or at auction. Of course, the 1971 no mint mark penny isn't the only valuable coin out there, but it's certainly one that stands out due to its rarity and historical significance. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin could make a great addition to your collection. Now that you know the history and potential value of the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's time to check your change. If you happen to find one in your pocket or in your collection, make sure to examine it closely. It might just be worth more than you think. We're diving into a hidden gem in the world of coin collecting, the 1976 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may think it's just a common penny, but this coin has a fascinating history and can be worth thousands of dollars in certain conditions. Let's uncover why this coin is so special and what makes it a rare find today. In 1976, the United States was celebrating its bicentennial, 2 centuries of independence. And to mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint produced a variety of special coins, including the iconic 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarters. But here's something you might not know. The 1976 Lincoln penny wasn't part of the bicentennial coinage, yet it remains a significant piece of American numismatic history. This coin, minted at the Denver Mint with the D Mint mark, was produced in large numbers, and for many years it was just another penny. But some of these 1976 D pennies, under the right circumstances, have become incredibly valuable. Most 1976 D pennies are worth, well, just 1 cent. But here's where it gets interesting. There are specific varieties and errors that make certain 1976 D pennies extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. First, let's talk about the coin's condition. Most of these pennies were circulated widely, but a small percentage of them were well preserved in mint condition. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS 65 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can fetch hundreds of dollars. But there's more. Some 1976 D pennies have rare minting errors that push their value into the thousands. One of the most famous errors is the 1976 D double die obverse. This is a rare type of error where the date or lettering on the front of the coin was struck multiple times, causing a visible doubling effect. Coins with this error can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. So, how much can a 1976 D penny be worth? If you have one of these high-quality coins or one with a rare error, the value can skyrocket. An MS 65 grade 1976 D penny can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on the market. But if your penny has the famous double die error, it could be worth $2,000 or more, possibly even higher if it's in near-perfect condition. To put it into perspective, some of the most pristine examples of the 1976 D double die obverse error have sold at auction for as much as $3,000 or more. That's a huge return on a coin that most people overlook. Cut to a tutorial-style segment where the narrator explains how to examine the coin for errors, using magnification tools to spot doubling and other features. Check the mint mark, the D near the bottom of the coin. It's important to make sure it's a 1976 D penny, as other years and mint marks are different. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for doubling on the date and other areas, especially around Liberty or In God We Trust. Condition is everything when it comes to coin values. A well-preserved coin in mint state is worth much more than a worn-out one. If you find one with these errors, it's time to get it professionally graded by a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A grade can really make a difference in the price. Cut to a shot of the narrator holding a 1976 D penny and talking directly to the camera. So, there you have it. The 1976 D Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of American history. It's also a coin with hidden potential for collectors. If you happen to find one in mint condition or with a rare error, you could be holding onto a valuable piece of numismatic treasure worth thousands of dollars. Make sure to check your change and keep your eyes peeled. You never know what hidden gems are out there. Did you enjoy this video? If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more coin collecting tips and tricks. Also, let us know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare penny in your collection? We'd love to hear about it. We're diving into a truly special piece of U.S. history, the 1963 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. This little copper gem might look like just another coin, but hold on tight, because it could be worth thousands of dollars. Let's explore its history, rarity, and why it's so valuable today. First, let's talk about the history of the Lincoln penny. Struck by the U.S. Mint since 1909, the Lincoln cent honors President Abraham Lincoln, and it's been one of the most beloved coins in American numismatics. But did you know that the 1963 penny holds a unique place in its history? In 1963, America was in the midst of a transformative time. While the U.S. Mint had already been producing Lincoln pennies for decades, what sets this year apart is the absence of a mint mark. Usually, a penny would have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but in 1963, all pennies produced in Philadelphia came without any mint mark. It was the standard for that year, and it was the last year this happened until the 1980s. Now, why is this penny so special? While no mint mark on a penny might seem like a small detail, it's actually quite rare and important in the world of coin collecting. It signifies that the penny was minted in Philadelphia, at a time when the U.S. Mint typically marked coins to indicate which facility they came from. In fact, no-mint mark pennies from the early 1960s, especially in pristine condition, are considered highly collectible. Most people are unaware of their value, meaning they might slip through the cracks in collections or even at garage sales. So, if you happen to find one, especially in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Let's get to the fun part: the value. A 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is usually worth just a few cents, like any other penny. But don't be fooled. This is where things get exciting. When this penny is in uncirculated or proof condition, its value jumps dramatically. In mint state or uncirculated condition, you could see these pennies valued at $50 to $100, depending on the grade. But the real magic happens when these pennies are in perfect condition, graded at MS67 or higher. Coins like this can easily fetch between $1,000 to $3,000 or more at auction. In fact, some of the highest grade examples have sold for even more. How do you tell if your penny is worth this kind of money? First, take a look at the coin's condition. Coins that have been worn down from circulation are not going to bring in the big bucks. You'll need a penny that looks almost as good as the day it was minted, free from scratches, with clear, sharp details and minimal wear. Now, if you think you have a 1963 no-mint mark penny in excellent condition, make sure to preserve it properly. Store it in a protective coin holder like a 2x2 holder, a coin flip, or a small plastic capsule. Keep it away from humidity, extreme temperatures, and rough handling to maintain its value. So, there you have it. The 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be a hidden treasure in your collection. Whether it's sitting in a jar of loose change or tucked away in an old coin folder, it could be worth far more than you think. Remember, it's all about condition and rarity, and this penny definitely qualifies as one to keep an eye on. Did you enjoy learning about this fascinating coin? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever found a rare penny or have questions about coin collecting. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more valuable coin finds. Coin collectors, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare and valuable coins, you're in for a real treat today. In this video, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in circulation, the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stick around because you won't believe how much these rare pennies are worth today. The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. It's often overlooked, but when you know what to look for, it can be worth thousands of dollars. Let's first talk about its history. The United States Mint has been producing pennies with different mint marks for over a century, but in 1973, something unusual happened. If you look at most pennies from that year, you'll notice that they lack the mint mark. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. So why is that? Let's break it down. In 1973, there was a shift in how coins were produced. For most years, pennies with the D or S mint mark indicated where the coin was produced. But in 1973, the Philadelphia Mint decided to release a batch of pennies without any mint mark at all. This decision was likely due to a shortage of coins at the time or an error in production processes. As a result, some 1973 pennies were issued without the mint mark, and these are the ones that collectors are really after. Now, let's talk about why this penny is worth thousands of dollars. While the regular 1973 Lincoln penny is worth only 1 cent, the no-mint mark version can fetch a much higher price, depending on its condition. A typical 1973 no-mint mark penny in average circulation could be worth a few dollars, but in exceptional condition, it can reach a hefty price. Some of the rarest 1973 no-mint mark pennies, especially those graded in high quality, like MS67 or higher, have been known to sell for upwards of $5,000 or more at auction. And if you have a rare error coin from this year, like a double die or an off-center strike, you could be holding a penny worth tens of thousands of dollars. Crazy, right? The high value comes down to both the rarity of these unmarked pennies and the condition they're in. If you have a 1973 no-mint mark penny that's been well preserved, it could be a game changer for your collection. Remember, the key to identifying valuable pennies is looking at the grade. Coins in mint condition, those with no wear and tear, sharp details, and vibrant luster, are the ones that command the highest prices. So, how do you know if your 1973 penny is worth thousands of dollars? First, examine the condition. If it's shiny and has sharp details, you might have a valuable one on your hands. Second, check for any errors, like a double die or misalignment. And finally, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC to determine its true value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Alright, so to sum it up, the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is an exciting find for coin collectors. While most of them are still worth just a cent, those with high grades or rare errors can fetch thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. So, if you have a 1973 penny, it might be time to take a closer look. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of the most sought-after coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. Stick around to find out why this penny could be worth thousands of dollars. The title 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, History and Value, appears on screen. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more amazing coin content. Let's start with a quick history lesson. In 1980, the US Mint produced millions of pennies, but not all of them carry a mint mark. You see, the mint mark is typically found on the obverse of a coin, right below the date showing where it was produced. For the 1980 Lincoln penny, you'll notice some lack the mint mark altogether. Shows examples of pennies with and without mint marks. But what exactly does it mean if there's no mint mark? Well, it indicates that the penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark is used for coins produced there. Zoom in on a high-quality 1980 no-mint mark penny, highlighting its sharp details. So what makes this 1980 penny so special? Well, the no-mint mark variety is relatively rare compared to other Lincoln pennies. While most 1980 pennies are common, those without a mint mark stand out due to their lower production numbers and the interest they've gained over the years from collectors. Shows a chart comparing production numbers of 1980 pennies with and without mint marks. Collectors have become increasingly drawn to these unmarked coins, particularly those in mint condition, because they're harder to find, and they've become a unique piece of American coin history. Cut to a shot of a coin expert or collector looking at a magnified 1980 no-mint mark penny. Now let's talk value. A 1980 no-mint mark penny, in typical circulated condition, might only be worth 1 cent, just like any other penny you find in your change. But, and this is a big but, when found in excellent or even mint condition, the value skyrockets. Cut to a 1980 no-mint mark penny in perfect condition. Coins graded by professional services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, have seen values of several $1,000s. In fact, some uncirculated 1980 no-mint mark pennies have been sold for as much as $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the grade. Shows examples of sold listings for high-value 1980 no-mint mark pennies. To identify if you have one of these valuable 1980 no-mint mark pennies, start by inspecting the coin's condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's profile, the lettering, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Next, if your penny looks well preserved, consider getting it graded by a professional. A coin graded as MS-67 or higher can be worth thousands. Coins in lesser grades may still have value, but the condition is key. Why does this matter to collectors? Well, it's all about rarity and the story behind the coin. Over time, certain coins become more sought after not just for their metal value, but for the history they represent. The 1980 no-mint mark penny has become one of those gems. Cut back to the host holding a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, smiling at the camera. So, if you've got a 1980 penny without a mint mark, it's worth taking a closer look. It could be the key to a hidden treasure in your collection. And if you're lucky enough to find one in perfect condition, you might just be holding thousands of dollars in your hand. We have an exciting topic that could turn your coin collection into a gold mine. We're talking about the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might be hiding in your change jar, worth way more than you think. So, if you're into rare coins, make sure to stick around, because today we're diving deep into the history, rarity, and insane value of this specific penny. First, let's take a look at the 2013 penny. You might be wondering, what's so special about this one? After all, it's just a penny, right? Well, the answer lies in something small but very significant: the absence of a mint mark. But before we get into that, let's go over some quick history. Abraham Lincoln has graced the 1-cent coin since 1909, and over the years, the design of the Lincoln penny has seen a few changes. By 2013, the penny had the same obverse front, featuring Lincoln's portrait. But there's something you might not have noticed on the reverse: the absence of a mint mark. Now, let's talk about what that mint mark means and why it's so crucial. Typically, U.S. coins produced in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. Those made in Denver or San Francisco, however, will have a D or S mint mark. So, when you find a 2013 penny without a mint mark, it indicates it was made in Philadelphia. But here's the catch. In 2013, the U.S. Mint was still using a practice where all pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint were supposed to have a P mint mark for identification. For some unknown reason, a handful of 2013 pennies were struck without any mint mark, which makes them quite rare. While these unmarked pennies might seem like a mistake, they are actually a key piece in numismatic history. These 2013 no mint mark pennies have become highly sought after by collectors and can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. That's right, thousands of dollars for a penny. In fact, high-quality examples of these 2013 pennies, especially those graded in mint condition by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Collectors look for pennies with sharp details, no signs of wear, and ideally, they should be graded in MS-67 or higher. If you're lucky enough to find one in a high-grade condition, it could be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 or more at auction. That's a serious profit for a penny that's been sitting in your pocket or change jar all this time. But how can you tell if your 2013 penny is one of these rare no-mint mark coins? The first step is to check the reverse side of the coin. If there's no mint mark, that's your first clue. Next, examine the condition of the coin. Is it in great shape? If it's close to uncirculated, you might have a hidden gem. So what do you think? Do you have any 2013 pennies without a mint mark lying around? If you do, it might just be time to take a closer look and see if it's worth thousands of dollars. And remember, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value, so make sure to handle it with care if you think it could be a valuable piece. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. If you're into coin collecting, you've probably heard of the iconic 1982 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Today, we're diving into its fascinating history and the incredible value these pennies can hold today, especially those rare ones worth thousands of dollars. Let's get started. The 1982 D. Lincoln penny, part of a key year in U.S. coinage history, is a penny that many collectors are on the lookout for. It was produced in large numbers, but certain versions of this penny, especially those with rare characteristics, can fetch a serious price in today's market. So what makes the 1982 D penny so special? Well, 1982 was the year the U.S. Mint made a major transition in the composition of the penny. Up until then, pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1982, the U.S. Mint started producing pennies with a new composition, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, to reduce costs due to the rising price of copper. This means that there are actually two types of 1982 pennies: those made from copper and those made from the new zinc alloy. The trick is, some of these pennies are quite rare, and they're worth way more than face value, especially if they're in top condition or have certain unique characteristics. Now, let's talk about the real moneymakers in the 1982 D pennies. While most of them are worth only a few cents, there are specific ones that have sold for thousands of dollars. It all comes down to condition, rarity, and, believe it or not, errors. Let's take a closer look. One of the most valuable versions of the 1982 penny is the one with the rare dual minting error. This happens when the penny was struck with both the old copper composition and the new zinc composition. These pennies are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find one of these error pennies, you could be sitting on a potential gold mine. Now, you might be wondering, how much are these error pennies worth? Well, if you come across a 1982 penny in mint condition, especially with an error, prices can range from a few $100s to several thousand, depending on the rarity and demand. Some have even been known to fetch as much as $10,000 or more. Regular 1982 copper pennies are worth around $1 to $2 each in good condition. Mint state versions of the zinc pennies, especially the error coins, can easily reach $500 to $1,000. And for the rarest errors, like the dual minting mistake or certain misstrikes, well, you could be looking at a price tag upwards of $10,000. So, what do you need to look for when hunting for these high-value 1982 pennies? First, check the condition. Coins with fewer scratches and dents are always worth more. Second, look for signs of error minting, like unusual weight, color, or even double strikes. To check for a possible error, use a magnifying glass to look closely at the coin's edges and the design. If you notice any unusual doubling or misalignment in the design or lettering, you might have stumbled upon a gem. Alright, coin hunters, that wraps up our deep dive into the history and current value of the 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Who would have thought this simple penny could be worth thousands, right? So, get out there and start looking through your change. And don't forget, if you find a rare one, make sure to get it graded by a professional so you know exactly what you've got. Be sure to subscribe for more tips and coin collecting insights, and drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable penny in your collection. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare coins or just getting started with coin collecting, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're talking about a truly fascinating coin that could be hiding right in your pocket. The 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, you heard that right. This penny could be worth thousands of dollars. In this video, we'll dive into the history behind this unique coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you can tell if you've got a rare find on your hands. First, let's take a look at the history of the 1993 no-mint Mark penny. As you know, most pennies produced in the United States feature a mint mark indicating which mint the coin was struck at, typically the D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But in 1993, something unusual happened. The 1993 no-mint Mark penny is a bit of a mystery. It was struck in Philadelphia, where most pennies are produced without a mint mark. However, the issue comes from a specific batch of pennies, some of which were accidentally released without the expected mint mark. These rare coins were simply overlooked and shipped out into circulation, unnoticed by the general public. So, why does this make the 1993 no-mint Mark penny so valuable? In most years, if a penny is struck at the Philadelphia Mint, it's usually a no-mint Mark coin. But in 1993, an error occurred where some of the pennies were supposed to be marked with the mint's D for Denver, but instead, they were produced without any mint mark at all. Due to the error, only a limited number of 1993 pennies exist without a mint mark. The scarcity of these coins makes them highly sought after by collectors, especially those looking to complete their collections of Lincoln pennies from different years. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, the value. A typical 1993 penny in average condition is worth only 1 cent, but that's not the case for these special no-mint mark coins. The value skyrockets for coins in excellent condition, and especially for those with rare characteristics like a strong strike or a unique patina. Depending on the condition, a 1993 no-mint Mark penny can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several thousand. For example, in high-grade, uncirculated condition, a 1993 no-mint Mark penny can fetch anywhere from $500 to $1,000. But in the most exceptional condition, think gem quality or MS 67+, the value can soar up to $5,000 or more. So, how can you spot one of these rare pennies? It's all about looking closely at the area just beneath Abraham Lincoln's shoulder on the reverse side of the coin. This is where the mint mark would usually appear. Now, keep in mind, the absence of a mint mark is key. If your 1993 penny has no mint mark, that's your clue that it could be a potential gem. Think you've found a 1993 no mint mark penny? The next step is to get it appraised or evaluated. Always check the condition of your coin, as a well-preserved coin can be worth a lot more. You can take your penny to a professional coin dealer, or you can send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade. Once graded, you can sell your penny at auctions or through specialized coin dealers who focus on rare and collectible coins. To sum it all up, the 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most fascinating and valuable errors in modern U.S. coinage. With its rarity and historical significance, it's a must-have for serious collectors, and it could very well be worth thousands of dollars if you have one in excellent condition. We're diving into the fascinating history of the 1977 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and why some of these humble coins are now worth thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, thousands. So grab your magnifying glasses and let's uncover the hidden value in your loose change. The Lincoln Penny series is one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history, first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1977, the Lincoln penny had already been a household staple for nearly 70 years. But here's the catch. If your 1977 penny has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint didn't add mint marks to pennies until 2017, so a lack of a mint mark is normal for coins of this year. Now, why are some of these 1977 pennies worth thousands of dollars? It all comes down to rarity and condition. First, let's talk about errors. Coin errors happen during the minting process, and collectors love them. For the 1977 penny, watch out for double dies, especially in the lettering or Lincoln's portrait. Double dies can make a penny skyrocket in value. Second, condition matters. A 1977 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded as MS-67 or higher, can fetch a small fortune at auctions. In fact, one sold for over $2,600. So, check your coins carefully for mint luster and sharp details. Look closely at the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Any doubling or unusual markings could mean it's a rare double die. Use a magnifying glass to check for wear and tear. The fewer scratches, the better. For high-value coins, professional grading by PCGS or NGC can confirm its worth. And don't forget, small variations, like off-center strikes or die cracks, can also increase value. Let's talk numbers. Most 1977 no-mint mark pennies in circulated condition are only worth their face value. 1 cent anonymous 66 graded penny recently sold for $3.75. And as I mentioned earlier, anonymous 67 example brought in over $2,600 at auction. So, always double-check your spare change. You might have a hidden gem in your pocket. Keep your pennies stored in a coin album to protect them from damage. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass to inspect details. Stay up to date with coin auctions to see what collectors are paying for rare finds. Remember, every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than 1 cent. Who knew a 1977 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth so much? Now it's your turn to search through your collection. If you found a rare penny or have questions, drop a comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin collecting tips and treasures.